Okay, everybody, welcome back. It's Big Poppa T-Mo. We are playing some No Man's Sky. We were just about to jump into another system, so we need to go to the galaxy map and take a look at that. Now, it's going to highlight where we need to go for our next quest, and that's where you see the potential scientist recruit. We're going to hit the right button or on the left pad, and we want to bring that over to current mission. Um, Up and down is filter. We want no filter, and we need current mission, and we're going to go and highlight this star system. It is 9 light years away. It is a Korvaxian, and we're going to jump. I should have shown you that a little bit better. There were a bunch of planets around that star, and it showed how many and which ones had moons. We don't have the economy scanner yet, so we don't know whether this is an affluent system, a wealthy, declining, whatever. And we don't know what conflict level it is because we don't have a conflict scanner. And we're basically flying in blind. Can't even tell you how many planets are in here. Kind of a mistake on my part. So, well, we've got this loading screen going on. We're basically going to sit back because we can't open up any of our menus in the meantime. So enjoy the ride. And there we go. We are in our second system. First contact, we are in the Euclid galaxy as we were before. And there are a whole bunch of different planets here. So what I'm going to do, we have an anomalous subspace signal detected. Search for clues. It is pointing us towards the space station, which is directly ahead of us. So we pretty much know where we're going with that. We're going to do a scan as it's telling us to. And that's pointing us off to this planet off to the right. So, planetary outpost, unknown planet. Let's give that a quick scan and see what we got. We have a tropical planet with star bulb, copper, paraffinium, and sodium. Not bad. Before we do that, though, anytime you warp into a new system, go to the space station first. In a previous episode, I showed you all the different vendors that are in there, and the most important one being the Exosuit vendor, who is now to our left up on that upper deck. We want to go there and get our upgrade to our Exosuit inventory space. That is primary concern number 1. They are cheap, and we don't need that. Now, the first time we didn't have enough money to go ahead and get the high capacity cargo one, and honestly, we're not carrying around that much stuff yet, so we're going to hold off on it. We're just going to get the general for the 10,000. The next one's going to cost us 20,000. And I normally tell you to go ahead and talk to all the vendors, but what I want to see real quick, I wanted to see what kind of ship just landed. Okay, that's what I thought. We're going to have a whole bunch of Explorer class ships come in here because it is a Korvaxian system. And that's the way that it goes. So let's go back over here. And while we're upstairs, let's talk to this Korvaxian. Ooh, that's a whole bunch of gobbledygook. And we don't know what he's saying, but he has the blueprints. Trade for the blueprints. We only have 64 nanite clusters, so we can't afford anything. I think the cheapest one that they have is actually going to be 70. But what we want to do, other than look down at the Nikes he was wearing, we're going to look at the upgrade modules, and we want to check this every time we come in here, what S modules they have. He has a radiation and underwater, a movement, a shield, a toxic, and a thermal protection for high temperature. Those are all S-class modules. He's got some good stuff. So this system is something to take note for our Exosuit guy. Haven't really focused on the Exocraft one at all because that comes further on down the road. And he's got a decent number of S-Class modules too, a boost, a cannon, and a Humboldt drive. So this system is pretty well off with S-Class modules. And let's see what this one has. Just going to cycle to the end. Photon cannon, that's a good one. Phase beam and Starship shield. Good ones to have. And of course he has some encrypted nav data. Of course gives us navigation data and doesn't give us the nano clusters. Alright, that is a 23 slot B class rifle. That's actually a pretty nice one. That is what I have on my other two games. That's the best I've ever found until this one where I found that S-Class. So again, I want to thank you all for being my good luck charm. Let's see what kind of S modules he's got. He has a Blaze Javelin. Not my favorite weapon in the world. Scatter Blaster, not my favorite weapon in the world, but they are fun. And does not have an S-Class scanner or mining. So a little bit disappointed on that. Now what we're going to do is while we're in here, we're going to go back here and we're going to go to scientific research. And we're going to switch to that. Sometimes you need to flip back and forth between the quests to see if it will highlight anybody. It didn't, so we're going to talk to the Gek. And see, as you can see here, he's asking for money. Should we give him some money? Should we apologize for being unable to help or pat him on the head? We've got the 10 units. Let's give it to him. And he gives us 6 nanite clusters in return. And our standing with the Gek has increased. Excellent. That was well worth 10 units. Bunch of gobbledygook. As I approach the electronic life form, they instinctively start to analyze me from head to foot. They chitter animatedly, their head tilted to one side. The more they study, the more the facility's resource vault consumes what my scanner suggests are silicate elements. I mind that I know little of their kind or how they communicate, and the lights in their mask flash. We can give them a common metal for 15, we can give them an uncommon metal for 15 pure ferrite, or we can give them a rare metal of 1 magnetized. Anytime you get these 3 options, I highly recommend you give them the maximum you possibly can, because it'll give you the best benefits. Lights blaze with sudden intensity. My offering was clearly what they were hoping for. They rest their silicone hand on my visor and thanked me for the transfer of language. Got a little rocket jump for happiness. It gave me rare warning. So they gave me 2 words, all for 1 magnetized ferrite. Now normally these guys just do it for copper. A whole bunch of gobbledygook. The electronic lifeform pauses their work, looks up and focuses their mask lights on my visor. They wait for my request, but they seem desperate to get back to their vital research. See, I don't have any copper with me. I don't have a Korvax convergence cube. So I'm going to ask for directions. And they give me a place of interest. Drop pod detected. That is going to be another episode. But that's good that that did that. We'll get to that later. Let's go ahead and talk to him again. Still don't have that. He's not going to give us anything different on directions. Basically, they give you a one-off. What I was hoping was that that convergence cube would change to the Korvax casing, because we have one of those. But it did not. Let's go ahead and check this galactic trade terminal. Now, there are differences between the sides of the station. The amounts of stuff they're going to have is going to be slightly different, and we'll cover that more later when we get into trade and everything else like that, but it never hurts to see what they have on both sides. We're already over here, so we might as well see. We've got some uranium, some paraffinium, platinum, phosphorus, microprocessors, ion battery, metal plating, lemium, dihydrogen jelly, sodium oxygen, cobalt, ferrite dust, unstable plasma, oxygen capsule, technology modules, and then you see these 3 on the top: descented pheromone bottles, neutron microscope, instability injector. You'll notice that these have very high prices, particularly on the instability injectors. And we have green label prices, so these are selling at a good rate, but these are specifically trade items. They're not used for anything else, but this will be covered in a trading episode later, um, because that's all they're good for. It is an aspect of the game that they introduced for the people that like to go around and explore and find different systems. So checking out the economies and what they're good for is what that's used for. And it's actually something I very much enjoy. Um, and I will definitely color. It's a nice tablecloth. Don't think I've ever noticed one before. Let's get some nanite clusters going on, guys. We're going to go ahead and run over to the other side and break on through. And while we're here, we're still looking for our scientists. Unknown life form, I passed my test. Eheu! I am free to explore, free to pursue my passion for structural analysis. Do you have a base? A science terminal? Think of all that might be done. I think this guy's our guy. Korvax is happy, overjoyed to see me. They seem to have just completed some rite of passage for their species, necessitating them to go out into the universe and pursue their interests. Scientist offers to join my base if I provide them with a science terminal. Yes, let's hire this guy. Eheu, think not of payment. Scanning you while you sleep will be reward enough. Wait, what? Yeah, he did. Like I said, the designers of this game are a little creepy. Whole bunch of gobbledygook. The electronic life form looks up at me with interest. Their facial lights constrict as they stare deep into my visor. Can't help but feel that countless analytical systems are recording and studying every move I make. Let's go ahead and give him that Korvax casing. Accepts my gift with gratitude. I wish I had not transmuted all of that copper into the chromatic metal, because it would be very, very useful right now. This is our first Korvaxian system, and I don't have anything to learn the language with. So, a little disappointed in myself. Bunch of gobbledygook. A multitude of processes appear to be working within the electronic life form. There is one, however, a very simple and inelegant one that's devoted to conversing with creatures of low intelligence. Right now, a fraction of that process seems to be directed at me. Not a very nice Korvaxian. Scientist entity POC offers directions to a place of interest. An alien monolith has been detected. We'll have to take a look at that when we go look at the drop pod coordinates. Bunch of gobbledygook. It even sounded like he said gobbledygook. The electronic life form pauses their work, looks up, and focuses their masked lights on my visor. They wait for my request, but they seem desperate to get back to their vital research. Again, we don't have any copper, so we're just going to get directions. Freighter crash site located. Another bit of good information, even though I'm really not a big fan of freighter crash sites. Gobbledygook. Korvax seems absorbed in a complex puzzle. I see them sorting codes, layering images, deciphering ancient runes. The symbols are reminiscent of those I have seen on the monoliths that scatter this galaxy. Let's give him a little assistance. I'm sure he'll appreciate it. I tell the Korvax what I have learned, but they claim to have already tested such theories without success. Basically, he's telling me I'm full of crap. Alright, we're going to run back here into this little room and see if there's anything of value on the table. We're starting to run a little shy on time. So, we hit a Journey Milestone. It is Visitor. We've met 20 aliens. That's where we're going to wrap up this episode. I want to thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed the show, if you enjoyed what you saw, please go down below and hit that thumbs up. If you want to see some updates in the future, make sure that you subscribe and you will get the notifications when I post new ones. Until next time, fly safe.